What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the channel. In this video, we're going to be taking a look at the all-new 2020 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. All right, since this is an entirely new model, we're not going to necessarily talk about what's new because it's all new, technically. But it does take a lot of stylings from the 2020 Atlas and the new 2021 Atlas, both inside and out. But as a model as a whole, it is entirely new. So we'll start up front as always. Under the hood, you've got two different engine options. Now this is an SEL Premium V6, so it has a V6, but your first engine option is a 2.0 liter four-cylinder engine, which will give you 235 horsepower, 258 pound-feet of torque with the premium gas. That's how you'll get the peak horsepower there. Now this one, like I mentioned, the V6, 3.6 liter V6 with 276 horsepower and 266 pound-feet of torque. Additionally, you will get 5,000 pounds of towing capacity with the V6 specifically. Up front, again, like I mentioned, familiar stylings if you've seen my 2021 Atlas review. If not, it's up here in the card. But it's got that same kind of grille, the same logo, the same front camera that protrudes there. But you've got LED headlights, LED daytime running lights, LED tail lights in the back. You've got these built-in fog lights as well. Now the front lighting system is an adaptive front lighting system with the corner illuminating feature to it. And again, those built-in headlights or the built-in fog lights, it's kind of a new remixed version of the older headlights. So you no longer have the fog light cluster down underneath. It's actually integrated into the headlights, which I think looks really clean and kind of cleans up the whole grille area. Now, as far as the grille goes, you've got this kind of protruding rectangular grille with these chrome pieces that run across. Down underneath, you've got more of a satin gray finish. So very similar to the 2021 Atlas with those kind of all those different tones mixed together, which I'm not the biggest fan of, but it is a nice premium looking grille. Now the redesigned Volkswagen logo here, it's more of just a refresh. They kind of made it all one color flat. That is part of Volkswagen's new initiative where they've kind of cleaned up the logo, brought it into more of a modern look with that one color design. So you'll see that here on the outside, as well as on the new steering wheel inside. Now, as far as this weird camera goes, I still haven't really figured out an answer as to why it sticks out so much. Maybe just to get it away from that front grille since it is such a wide camera, but it looks like a little turtle head kind of poking out there. Not the biggest fan of that design, but that is what you get. Now, you have the same kind of grille underneath with that satin gray look that I mentioned. You also have the parking sensors, and you have 360-degree overhead view cam on this model, since it is the SEL Premium. Now, as far as other features that set the Cross Sport apart from the normal Atlas, it's a little bit smaller, a little bit more compact, about 3 inches. So it's not significant necessarily, but you do unfortunately lose the third row, which in this case I think is a good thing. But you get the same wheelbase, so you still have a pretty decent and spacious second row, which is really nice. And you get a nice spacious trunk, which we'll take a look at in just a second. Additionally to that, you have some specific Cross Sport badging, which we'll take a look at on the side. And overall, it just kind of fills that gap between the Tiguan and the Atlas with this kind of more, I don't know, I would say it's mid-size, but it's still a pretty big SUV here. So now the SEL Premium here sits on 20-inch alloy wheels. They look really, really clean, really nice. Volkswagen always does a fantastic job with their rims. I'm a huge fan. Like I mentioned, Cross Sport badging on the side. Over on the side mirrors, you've got body color side mirrors that have blind spot monitoring, integrated turn signals. They're heated, and they've got that camera underneath for the overhead view cam system. Nice glossy trim that runs down the side of the vehicle. Body colored door handles here with keyless access, so you can stick your hand right in there, open up, and then boom, place your finger on the little button and it will lock and the mirrors will fold in, which is awesome. I love that feature. Up top, you've got glossy silver roof rails, and then you've got a power tilting and sliding panoramic sunroof. It's not the biggest panoramic sunroof I've ever seen. It doesn't look as good as the one that's on the Tiguan, but nonetheless, you've got it up there. You've got rain sensing windshield wipers up top with the heated wiper nozzles, so no need to worry about that freezing over in the winter. So back here on the rear gate, like I mentioned, LED tail lights, nice chrome strip runs across, nice clean Atlas badge, redesigned Volkswagen badge, rear wiper, brake lights up top, a very sloped roof here. It does still have nice visibility nonetheless. SEL V6 badging, 4Motion all-wheel drive badging. You've got these kind of faux exhaust tips here. I don't know, just chrome right there. Another design difference between the 2020 Atlas and, well, the 2021 Atlas and the 2020 Cross Sport Don't know why they didn't just slap a 2021 label on it, but nonetheless, 2020 Cross Sport, 2021 Atlas, is they have this strip that runs across here. It's the, I guess, brake lights, or yeah, I guess it is brake lights. But it used to be divided, so one section there, but now it runs as an entirely connected strip across the rear of the vehicle. And you've got parking sensors built into that as well. Rear vision camera underneath that not only works as that rear vision camera, but also in the overhead view cam system. So faux exhaust tips down there. You've got your trailer hitch there, 5,000 pounds of towing capacity. Let's see. Yeah, so you do actually have dual exhaust tips, but they're not visible. They point directly down underneath these, but these are not active. They're just for looks. So like I mentioned, one of the benefits of not having the third row is that you actually get this huge trunk. I'll put the measurements right here on screen so you can see. This is with the rear seats folded up. And then obviously, if you fold the rear seats down, you get some extra space. This was one of my biggest complaints with the Atlas as a whole, is that you get, yeah, this nice 3-row, semi-compact, family-style SUV, but the third row was almost just impossible to use for somebody that's my height. I'm 6'1". Anyone over probably 5'8", 5'9", it just wasn't practical for them. Now, you could adjust the second row and make it a little less comfortable for them to give the third row a little bit of extra space, but you do still have a really tiny trunk. And if you've got a big family, you need big storage space in the trunk. It never made any sense to me from a family standpoint. But this, if you have a smaller family, let's say you got 2 or 3 kids, this is perfect. You get a huge, spacious second row, which I'm a big fan of. And then you've got, I mean, a massive trunk here, relatively speaking. I mean, it's no Suburban, but you get this huge amount of space here. I can fit all my camera gear comfortably. And you've got underneath here, you've got your spare tire. It all is nice. It all comes super pre-packed in this nice foam. It's just super convenient to have this much space in what's more of a family style SUV. So I think it's awesome. You also have, looks like there's room for a cargo cover here. Definitely hooks for a net if you were to get all that package. And I think it might be in here. We've got, looks like all weather mats in this sealed container here. So overall, really clean design here on the back of the car. It looks great, very practical with the storage space. I'm a big fan. Additionally, as far as functionality goes on the rear gate, there's a couple different ways you can open it. You can obviously hit the button on the outside. I think there's a button on the inside as well, and you can use the key fob to go ahead and raise and lower the rear gate. And then there's got a button right there that you can close it. So, super simple. All right, that's pretty much everything here on the outside. Let's hop inside and take a look at the cabin. All right, now that we're inside the cabin, let's take a look at what we got going on in here, starting with the main eye-catching feature, and that is the redesigned steering wheel. So this is kind of, I don't know what generation steering wheel Volkswagen would consider this, but we'll call it the 2021 generation steering wheel. Although this is a 2020 model, and it is the first time we've actually seen this steering wheel, the first model that has come out that we've saw the steering wheel here on the channel. The first one we looked at was the 2021 Atlas, which came out after the 2021 Atlas Cross Sport, but they have the same steering wheel. It's super confusing. I'm not even gonna try and think about that right now, but nonetheless, this is the first time that this steering wheel has been available on a Volkswagen, at least here in North America. I'm not sure about other parts of the globe, but here in North America, this steering wheel was first shown on the Cross Sport. So here it is on the 2020 Cross Sport. It is super clean. It has that updated Volkswagen logo like we talked about, the one color flat design, just a nice glossy reflective Volkswagen badge right in the center. You've got a nice leather wrapped steering wheel, same kind of general layout, buttons over here, you know, things back here for your lights and your wipers. You've got your adaptive cruise control settings over here with the volume button. And then on the right side, you've got your voice assistant, the buttons to navigate the digital dash. You've got your skip track button and your heated steering wheel button. So heated leather wrap steering wheel here, super nice. Kind of got this gray textured pattern on the actual horn area, and then a nice satin silver piece that kind of runs around and then down in this nice little kind of almost angular U shape. Super interesting. I'll make sure I'll give you guys plenty of B-roll to look at the sexy steering wheel here. Now, right past that, you've got the Gen 2 digital dash. This has the physical gauges on the left and the right side for oil temperature and gas. Now, this has all the customization you could possibly want. You can see little views of your vehicle. You can switch through the different pages here and get access to audio, Bluetooth, vehicle status, driving data, your assist system, so you can see a nice big clean view of your adaptive cruise control. You can also see your navigation. You can switch your navigation over from the infotainment center over to the digital dash, which I love. Just super clean, and you can switch views. So some of their built-in settings here. So RPMs on the left and miles per hour on the right, with your miles remaining till empty, trip calculator, how many miles in your car, what gear you're in, all kinds of good stuff. Again, you can switch to more of a clean view. I would call this like the off-road view, so it gives you your altitude, compass, and then which direction you're currently pointing. And again, like I said, you can go to navigation, hit this little map button, it will switch it over to the digital dash, and then you can have it where you just see a little bit of the map with the gauges in the way, or if you hit view 2 times, it will go to full screen navigation, which I absolutely love. Now, I wish you could put third-party navigation in there, maybe Waze or Apple Maps, Google Maps, something like that. But for now, we're stuck with Volkswagen's built-in navigation, which we have here on the SEL Premium. So if you don't have the SEL Premium, you won't be able to use that navigation feature. Over on the left-hand side, you've got your light controls. So I usually just leave them on auto because it does a really good job at adjusting. Even when you go through tunnels for a temporary period of time, it will dim the dash and everything, which I think is super quick and responsive, and I like it a lot. Over here, you got your Fender Premium Audio System badge here, speaker, lock and unlock button. You've got your door handles here, mirror controls here, buttons so you can actually push this down and it will fold your mirrors in automatically for you. Then you've got your automatic window buttons, all kinds of good stuff, and the trunk release button over on the side. Other than that, nothing crazy, nothing too much over here. A nice compartment here. You could toss a phone up there if you wanted to. I don't know why, but you could put a water bottle there. Or you could just use the cup holder for your water bottle if you prefer. Then you've got an 8-inch infotainment center here. So some of the lower trim levels, will have a 6-inch infotainment center, but one of the initiatives kind of the Volkswagen had was to get this infotainment center specifically in more trims. So it is available in a huge variety of lower trim levels than it normally comes in, which I think is great because it's a beautiful system. It's their Infotainment 3 system, super clean design, nice flat icons, which kind of goes with their whole theme. Volkswagen does a great job with that. You've got a nice highlighted accent piece underneath, and you've got everything you're used to seeing on an infotainment center if you're familiar with anything like that in this kind of generation of Volkswagens. So you've got radio, which will give you Sirius XM, AM, FM radio, all your custom stations you can preset. Media will give you access to, you can plug a MP3 device into the aux port. Oh, got a train. This is why you don't do videos right by a train track. Okay, so the train finally left, so let's get back into it. So with the aux, you've got MP3 device you can plug in, you can use Bluetooth, or you can insert a CD into the glove box in the CD slot. Navigation, I've already kind of gone over that. You've got points of interest, destinations, all that kind of good stuff. Sirius XM Travel Link will give you fuel prices, which are extremely low. Favorite sports teams, if you want to put that in there. Unfortunately, there's not any sports actively going right now. We're still in the midst of the coronavirus pandemic lockdown. Hope everyone is staying safe, but hopefully we'll have sports here maybe in a month or two, or maybe a few more months, hopefully by the football season at least. Going on back to telephone, you've got Bluetooth, so you can connect your phone there. Moving on, you've got App Connect, so that's Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. Traffic will give you traffic. Now sound, you can EQ that Fender Premium Audio System, and then you can use climate control. Now, I've talked about this again and again and again. I just want to make it explicitly clear. I think Volkswagen is grooming us to use the touchscreen only, so getting rid of these hardware controls. Unfortunately, I think it's coming because you can, in fact, adjust the air conditioning, the heat, which direction it comes out of, what the temperature is, all that kind of stuff right here on the screen. So I think it's just a matter of time before that is our only option. And I feel bad for those people that love hardware controls, but I think it's going to be all software here pretty soon. Additionally, there's an air care menu. Now, this Cross Sport is the first time I've actually ever seen this on a Volkswagen. It was on the 2021 regular Atlas that we looked at in the card above, but this is the actual first time I think it's been available. And basically what it does is it creates kind of this, it cleanses the cabin using the interior air filter, so it gets rid of fine dust particles and pollen, which is great, especially if you live in a high, like, allergy type zone of the country, which we do here in the Ohio Valley. But it's kind of cool. when all the doors are shut and all the windows are shut and everything, and you activate it, it kind of has this like animation where it kind of like consumes the car and makes it feel like it's like actually like suctioning out all of the pollen and stuff. Who knows if it's actually doing that dramatically, but it looks really cool on the menu. You've also got the rear vision camera. Now it's just a standard rear vision camera, decently high quality, not the best, but you know, they're all kind of about the same. But if you hit menu, you go ahead and get access to the overhead view cams. You can see all the different camera angles. You can switch between them just by tapping, and it will give you different, you know, angles and that kind of stuff. Additionally, if you exit out of that and you put the car in park or neutral, you can hit the button here, which will give you access to that 360-degree cam just straight away. You don't have to go put it in reverse or anything. And you can tap the different angles again. So go into one, and then if you tap the car itself on screen, it'll take you back to that 360-degree overhead view cam, which is fantastic. So that's that. Moving on down, you do have dual zone climate control here, so you don't need that third row, so not available. Now, moving on down from that, you do have the auto start stop engine button where you can disable that. You can turn your flashers on or off. And then moving on down from that, you've got your little tray. It's kind of a really nice sloped, slanted tray. So you've got 2 USB-A ports on aux input, a 12-volt outlet, and a Qi-enabled wireless charging pad, which is relatively new on Volkswagens. Coming back up here towards the shift knob, you've got an 8-speed automatic transmission with Tiptronic and sport mode, push to start engine, electronic parking brake, drive mode selector. Again, you got that camera button, and then you can turn off your park assist or on your park assist, whichever you need. Standard cup holders here with a little LED light in there, nothing fancy. Inside the center console here, you have 1 USB-A port. 2 up here, 1 in here. Come on, Volkswagen. Inside the glove box, you've got the SD card reader, which you can put images on and also hold the navigation SD card in there. Now, as far as the interior goes, you have these beautiful cinnamon brown and black leather heated and ventilated seats. It just looks so nice. I love the two-tone action. You also get it on the door panels here with the beautiful accent stitching. It just looks really, really clean and premium. I'm a big fan of it. Again, heated and ventilated seats here. With the driver, it's a 10-way power adjustable with lumbar support and position memory, and then the passenger is an 8-way power adjustable seat as well. In the back, not ventilated, but you do have heated seats, which is fantastic. Rear vents, rear shades on the windows, all that kind of good stuff. Additionally, 2 USB-A ports in the back and 1 115-volt outlet. So a few other new little technical things that are new here on the 2020 Atlas Cross Sport. You've got dynamic road sign display and traffic jam assist. Now, what these features do, the first one, the dynamic road sign assist, basically it'll read the road signs as you're driving along and give you what the road sign is specifically and what the speed limit is on the digital dash. And you'll see it up at the top. It'll be like a little red thing with like a 35 on it, 45, 55, 65, 70, whatever it may be, shows it right on there. And then traffic jam assist, this is nothing new as far as vehicles in general with safety systems go, but it is what you would consider like a full stop and go adaptive cruise control system. So it can slow the vehicle down to a complete stop without any driver input and then inch along in stop and go traffic, for example, without any input from the driver. So nothing we haven't seen before. I've reviewed Hyundais that have this that are much cheaper than this. There's plenty of vehicles that have stop and go, but for Volkswagen, it's a relatively new feature. So traffic jam assist, I guess that's their way of branding it, but it's really stop and go adaptive cruise control. And it's an awesome feature to have because if you've ever used it, it's really hard to go back to sitting in traffic and having to kind of pay attention and do the whole, just adaptive cruise control with stop and go or traffic jam assist is key. Now, as far as the interior design of the cabin goes, I talked in my 2021 Atlas video about how busy the cabin was. There were so many different colors and textures going on. And while this does have a lot of colors inside, especially with this cinnamon brown leather on the door panels and on the seats, it's a little bit more subdued, and I like that. It's premium, it feels really nice, and it feels like they weren't trying too hard. So you do have this soft touch rubber up top, this hard plastic down at the bottom, which those are just kind of standard car things, and so I'm okay with it, but it's the accents that are really key. And this just has this nice satin silver that runs along the interior, runs along the steering wheel, runs along the door panels, and then in the middle of it is just a little bit, almost like the same color as the soft touch plastic, but a textured looking plastic piece. First of all, it's not faux wood, so I'm okay with it. And second of all, it just looks clean. It doesn't look like it would scratch easily or get dirty easily. It just looks really nice. And I do like the black and brown on the door panels. I don't know, call me crazy. Maybe you guys disagree. Leave a comment down below if you do, or if you do agree with me, thumbs up. But yeah, I just think it's, I don't know, I like it. I'm a big fan of it. It's not too brown to where it stands out too much. It's just nice, subtle. It blends in with everything, and I think it's a really premium looking cabin. Since people always ask me, you know, what it looks like in the second row, I'm gonna go ahead and give a visual representation here. So I'm 6'1", got pretty long legs, and I mean, there is ample space back here. Nice shoulder room as well. Obviously, there's a little bit of clearance, not the most. If I kind of sit up straight, I can put my head on the ceiling. But nonetheless, if you kind of rest back a little bit, you should be fine. There is a handle here, so you can slide the rear seat up a little bit to get it more upright, and then you can also lean it back, which is awesome. I love rear seats that lean back, super comfortable, especially on road trips and whatnot. Heated seats, as I mentioned, USB ports down there, so you won't really have any connectivity issues. You could even stick a splitter down there in the 115 volt outlet, charge more USB ports, so you could charge a full-size laptop or any kind of number of things right there. Center spot has the cup holders under there. This is a brand new car, if you hadn't noticed. So you can put some drinks right there. So yeah, super spacious, really nice, clean interior back here with that panoramic sunroof back, nice views. Overall, it's really nice. You've also got these little window shades here if it's too bright. Fender audio system back there. Really nothing to complain about back here. I'm a big fan. I'd easily sit back here on a road trip because you'd be more than comfortable at just about every height. I mean, not if you're a giant, but. All right, guys, and that is the all-new 2020 Volkswagen Atlas Cross Sport. Drop a like on the video if you loved it. Tell me in the comments down below, what do you like most about the differences here between the Atlas and the Cross Sport? You like that no third row, big spacious trunk? Do you like the redesigned steering wheel? Let's have a conversation about it down in the comments. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button to be among the first to see my full review of every single 2020 Volkswagen as soon as they hit our lots. We'll see you in the next one.